NLE Choppa, and I got that found me, and I'm round Houston. What's up? Puss ass.
What is your relationship with YoungBoy, if any?
Since y'all want to post everything, you'll post it. YoungBoy, my favorite rapper.
Right now, the whole scene is going wild and is moving fast. NLE Choppa basically sparked a full-on showdown with NBA YoungBoy, and he didn't hold back at all. Out of nowhere, Choppa dropped a full diss track aimed straight at YoungBoy, and he made sure everybody knew he meant business. This wasn't some tiny jab. This was a loud statement with attitude. The way he threw shade had the entire internet buzzing like crazy. And Choppa didn't stop with just the track. He pushed it even further. He put up billboards dissing YoungBoy in YoungBoy's own hometown like he was claiming the block or something. And check this, he even flipped the beat from Hit 'Em Up, one of the most infamous diss tracks ever made. The video was wild too. It shows scenes that made it look like he was straight up mocking NBA YoungBoy, putting him in a super embarrassing light. Then Choppa posted a picture on Twitter holding a fake YoungBoy head like it was some kind of prop trophy. That had everybody shocked. But here's the twist. Choppa wasn't just talking loud for attention. He came with what he called receipts, pointing out real situations and past behavior from YoungBoy that had people raising their eyebrows. And people already know YoungBoy got a reputation for acting out when someone pushes his buttons, so now everyone's watching close to see how he reacts to this heat. Things are getting intense fast.
NLE Choppa homeboy running up on me. Hey, quite ass in this NLE Choppa, and I got that found me, and I'm round Houston. What's up? Puss ass. You know what the going on with me, yeah. Free white B, 4K trade, nobody say. Yeah, his partner ran up on me, cracked him in the with a Hennessy bottle. Bust his little face all open, blood everywhere, and I got that found me. Is you if y'all hiding behind security, cuz? On Jesus Christ, when we brought the out, y'all know what the you did. You came and hid behind security. You was a nigga. On Jesus, you hid behind security and threw a bottle in my head, but you gangster. You talking about, cuz, nice ass, you doing this for real. On Jesus, you and your ass can't come to Memphis. You talking about, you can't come to Memphis.
A response is definitely coming because NBA YoungBoy never stays silent when someone calls him out like this. And the way Choppa went all in, there's no way this slides without a reaction. So let's break this whole situation down because the history between these two runs deep. Choppa and YoungBoy aren't new to this kind of tension. Their issues go all the way back to around 2021 and 2022 when they were already sending shade at each other. At that time, Choppa was still rising, building momentum, and carving out his own lane in the rap game. But once he started blowing up for real, fans began comparing him to NBA YoungBoy non-stop. It turned into one of those fan-made battles that spiraled fast. People online chose sides, some saying Choppa sounds like YoungBoy, while others claim YoungBoy was the real deal. What started as a simple back and forth between fan bases turned into actual pressure between the two artists, and it got messy quick. Now, years later, the rivalry has risen from the dead, and this time, people feel like it could go way further than before. Even though nobody needed to choose a side, fans jumped in anyway and turned it into a huge online showdown. It became a whole chaotic moment where everyone was yelling.
What is your relationship with YoungBoy, if any? Because like he clearly cared about it, right? So he dropped a record, clearly taking aim at you, right? He's basically like, yo, tell people that was your favorite. Yo, you don't pick sides of my beef.
Bro, I'm gonna be right here honest. That's one thing about me. I'm never no hater. I'm gonna keep it real, and that's all I'm gonna keep it. There's one thing about me you gonna take from NLE after every conversation, after every meeting. Nobody ever said he wasn't, cause he was. That used to be all I used to bump. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain stuff happened that in the mix of all that, when you blow up and you start to see how everything is or how everything work, that's when stuff get altered. Like, I ain't never say he wasn't. Always, you know what I'm saying, he was, but.
Would you have a private conversation with him, try to, you know the funny thing about like most of obviously between like say Dirk and YoungBoy, I don't think they'll have no conversation. Because
it's because it's blood behind it.
You're right. As much as you Vaughn, and as much as you were standing up for Vaughn, you're not trying to you weren't trying to put out a message like, man, it's on site with YoungBoy. It's not. That's not what you're. So would you have a conversation with him to at least bruh, I used to be locked in with this dude Von. Like, man, I'm gonna stand up for any disrespect
anybody
against
should
him.
respect that. Any man that even got any man that got kids, they got a girl or whatever, you should be able to respect. Like, somebody gonna stick up for that person like this. It's like one of my blood relatives, one of my folks got stepped on or something, God forbid, and somebody ain't really just have nothing to do with it, even though it came from your camp, it came from your folks. But at the end of the day, like, bro, the influence bro got, like, it's heavy, fool. All these kids seeing this, bro, like, they thinking this cool, fool. Like, it was at a point in time where, like, we knew it was smoke between them two camps.
Posting and arguing like their life depended on it. What started as casual fan chatter grew into a viral storm that had the entire internet locked in. This wasn't a tiny disagreement. This turned into a major moment in hip-hop drama, with everybody throwing in their opinions. It got so serious that Choppa had to hop on Instagram Live just to address the situation. But instead of cooling things down, he said something on that live that would stick to his name for years to come. Choppa once straight up admitted that NBA YoungBoy was his favorite rapper, and that line still haunts him to this day. The moment their beef kicked off, fans brought it right back, throwing it in his face non-stop. Every time he tried to move forward, somebody would pop up saying things like, "How you dissing your favorite rapper?" and calling him out for switching up. It became a running joke people would not let go. But as time rolled on, things didn't stay playful. This situation turned way more serious. What started as simple online talk between two artists slowly shifted into a real-life rivalry with weight behind it. And everything flipped when Choppa decided to drop a track with NBA YoungBoy's longtime rival, Fredo Bang. That move shocked everybody because it changed the whole energy instantly. If you don't know the history between Fredo Bang and YoungBoy,
listen to me. You can't go walk the runway with that little walk. You remember that walk you had? I think I'm a bad bitch. You can't come back with that walk. I think I'm a bad bitch. You can't come back with that NLE Choppa with that boy. Now them boy got some dance. You went to holler about if you was a bad I suck my dick too. You are disqualified from saying anything to Kentrell. NLE, you have been disqualified. I would give you and King Von got in the car and shot them guns together. Once you learn that walk, like that runway model walk, and you went in front of the whole gay world, and they were whistling Dixie at your little yellow ass, you can't come back over here to this side of the railroad track and go to barking. No. Go back over there and finish sucking your dick, nephew. Go back over there and finish being a bad bitch and sucking your. All these little boys ugly. Ain't none of them handsome. And all of them mostly dark skinned. You better leave these little gremlins alone. Boy, they'll tear your ass out tomorrow. The tour is almost over. NLE Choppa, let them boys enjoy a little bit of that money that boy finna give them. Them boys been doing bad since he been gone. So now they finna be able to get them some scat faction. Few of them might go sleep and buy some switches. But let them boys alone. Yeah, they but nigga, they got guns. Everybody know the pussy got the gun. Everybody know these little pussy ass little boy riding around with these goddamn switches and glitches on their goddamn head. So yeah, they pussy, and they'll shoot your ass too.
it's intense, and it goes way back. This situation isn't some small disagreement. People say it's one of the most explosive rap feuds to ever come out of Louisiana. This isn't about gossip or rumors. It's real conflict that has brought serious trouble over the years. Their camps have been on opposite sides for a long time, and everybody in the scene knows that. So when Choppa linked up with Fredo Bang, fans went wild with theories. People started saying, wait, weren't you cool with YoungBoy? Choppa tried to shut it down at first, claiming it had nothing to do with beef, but then he hopped on a whole record with Fredo anyway. That move made everything crystal clear whether he meant it or not. He officially chose a side in a rivalry with real history behind it. It wasn't just a collab with Fredo Bang. It was what Choppa said on that track that lit everything up. He didn't stay neutral or try to play it safe. He went straight for the pressure point with bars everybody knew were aimed directly at NBA YoungBoy. From that moment on, this wasn't music competition anymore. It turned personal fast. Choppa dropped slick lines that had the internet spinning out instantly. And you gotta remember, the internet had already been buzzing for a long time about YoungBoy's health because a rumor was flying everywhere. But the thing is, it wasn't just random talk.
I ain't beefing with none fool unless blood get come up. If blood ain't shed or if anybody money come, I'm not beefing with none. I'm up, cuz, but fool, I still crash on nigga like I'm down, though. You know what I'm saying? But since y'all want to post everything, y'all post it. YoungBoy my favorite rapper.
YoungBoy himself once put it in a song, word for word, herpes in my blood that got me crying. That line blew up across social media and stayed one of the most repeated things people ever quoted from him. So when NLE Choppa hit the track with the line, I'm hotter than herpes, who messing with me? Fans connected the dots in seconds. Everybody was like, come on now, who else is he talking about? There was no way around it. People took that bar as a direct hit at YoungBoy. The internet went wild instantly. Arguments everywhere, reactions flying, and memes dropping non-stop. The whole situation suddenly felt way more serious. But it didn't stop at the music. Things started sliding into real life, and that's when it got even crazier. One night, Choppa was just chilling at a club, handling his own business, and guess who he bumps into? Quando Rondo. And for anyone who doesn't know, Quando Rondo and NBA YoungBoy are tight. They've been locked in for years, practically moving like family in the rap world.
You remember the whole King Von situation? Yeah. That moment tied Quando, Rondo, and YoungBoy together in a way that's never been broken. Ever since then, their bond has been solid and they move like one tight unit. Wherever YoungBoy pops up, Quando isn't far behind. And lately on YoungBoy's new tour, he's even been bringing Lil Tim out on stage to perform with him. That shows you how connected they really are. So when Choppa crossed paths with Quando that night, everybody already knew it wasn't about to be some calm, friendly meetup. There was way too much history, too much pride, and way too many eyes watching to expect anything peaceful. The energy between their circles didn't just fade away.
Ice Cub, bro, Grape Island, nice cub, real talk fool. Y'all, hey, but y'all, internet be quick to say I'm the hoe, but y'all just sing behind security. Y'all so dick ride, y'all dick ride so much, y'all gonna be on bruh dick, but this man on the fucking stairs while we outside with that ready to quake your but you in the stir behind security, and then you throwing bottles like a.
It was sitting there ready to go off. Everything was already tense, and that little run-in was about to make the whole thing blow up even bigger. Check this out. YoungBoy had just finished doing a show in Atlanta, a city that still holds a lot of emotional weight because of King Von's story. And ever since this tour kicked off, YoungBoy has been moving loud, making headlines left and right with every stop he hits. So the energy in the air was already charged up. Now this is where everything gets messy. That exact same night, NLE Choppa and Quando Rondo ended up in the same club. Yeah, the same spot at the same time. And with their history, you already knew this wasn't gonna slide by quietly. Something must have been exchanged. Maybe a look, maybe a small comment. Whatever it was, it sparked something serious. Choppa's crew and Quando's crew ended up getting into a real clash that night. And this time, it wasn't online talk. It got physical for real. The second it happened, the internet found out because both sides jumped straight onto social media, posting clips, comments, and slick subliminals. Overnight, the whole thing turned into a viral storm with everybody picking sides and dropping their own takes. I'm breaking all this down so you can see how deep this tension really goes. NLE Choppa and YoungBoy have been circling each other for years now. This isn't random internet drama. It's built on old disagreements, music shots, live stream moments, and serious pride between both camps. And remember, Choppa was the one who first pushed the situation musically when he dropped that diss track that had the whole rap scene buzzing. But the story didn't end there. Months later, YoungBoy fired back with his own track. And he didn't just respond, he aimed directly at Choppa with lines that shook the whole culture. One of the standout lines went, "I bet your mama be destroyed when we send your stupid self to God for making statements. Choose sides about my beef with them little boys." That one line had fans stunned, not because of aggression, but because of how serious and intense the message sounded. People couldn't believe how direct he was, and it showed he wasn't treating the situation lightly at all. That wasn't just rap talk, that sounded like a real warning. And honestly, when you look at how everything kept escalating, it makes you wonder if Choppa ever even wanted things to reach this level. With YoungBoy, the tension had already gone way deeper than music, and once it hit that point, there was no turning back. In this industry, you gotta know exactly who you're dealing with, and YoungBoy is not someone you test lightly. That's why it started looking like Choppa was easing off a bit. He even pulled up for an interview with DJ Academics, where he tried to cool the situation down, saying things like, "It ain't no problems between me and YoungBoy, that's just internet talk." He tried to make it sound like everything was just noise online, nothing serious at all. But if you look closer, you can tell Choppa didn't want this to go too far. He's seen how far YoungBoy is willing to push things, and he wasn't trying to cross that line in real life. So even though the beef had the whole rap world locked in, things started to chill out a bit. And that was mostly because Choppa chose to step back instead of adding more fuel to it. And honestly, that kind of shift fits with Choppa's whole career. The guy's going through more transformations than almost anybody in the game. He's had so many different eras that it's hard to even count them. When he first came up, he carried that heavy street energy, raw intensity, survival talk, and chaotic vibes on every track. He moved like someone who has something to prove every time he touched the mic. He went from talking about weapons to showing off plants for real. He fully stepped into that spiritual Choppa phase for a while. He became a vegetarian, cut out meat completely, and started preaching about inner peace, meditation, and higher vibes. It was like watching a rapper turn into a motivational coach overnight, and the whole internet noticed. Folks even compared him to So Illuminati because the energy felt almost identical. Same mindset, same talk about elevating your spirit. But this is where things started getting confusing for everybody. Choppa's transformations didn't always match his actions. One minute he's spreading positivity and talking about healing your mind, and the next minute he's back in the studio dropping bars about street life like he never left that lane. Fans were sitting there like, hold up, what happened to spiritual Choppa? It started feeling like he was pulled between two versions of himself, one trying to grow and one still tied to his old ways. And lately, he's been leaning back into that wild energy again. His newer music has him saying some bold, outrageous stuff, way more intense than what he was doing during his positive phase. It's like he swung from one extreme to another, from talking about nature and meditation straight to dropping shocking lines about his personal life that had fans doing double takes. So yeah, it's safe to say Choppa has been unpredictable. He's been trying to balance that peaceful image while still keeping that edgy persona. But the constant switch-ups have people questioning what he really stands for. And the next moment, he's rapping about straight chaos like he never left the streets. It's wild to watch, but honestly, that's just who Choppa is. A dude switching lanes non-stop, trying to figure out which version of himself he wants the world to see. All those different eras, all those sudden changes, they all led right back to where we are now. Him going head-to-head with NBA YoungBoy again.
With everything Choppa has done over the years, it's no shock he's right back in the middle of controversy. Over the past few months, he's been building a whole new image, a full rebrand. Not just fresh pictures or a quick tweak to his style, he started calling himself NLE the Great, like he was creating a brand new persona from scratch. He even launched a separate YouTube channel dedicated to this version of himself, pushing it heavy like he was stepping into a whole new chapter. And this wasn't some light rebrand either. It felt like he was genuinely trying to prove something big. It really kicked off earlier this year when he decided to shave his head completely bald. That move had fans talking non-stop, calling it the Batman Choppa era. It was bold, dramatic, and it set the tone for a whole new wave in his career. But here's the twist. This new version of Choppa wasn't calm or spiritual at all. It had a darker, more intense vibe, and that energy slid him right back into the beef with YoungBoy. Instead of peace, love, and positive talk, he stepped into a mode that felt colder, stronger, and way more aggressive. Things have finally gone quiet, and it really looked like both of them had moved on. But out of nowhere, Choppa came back swinging hard. There wasn't any public argument leading up to it, no leaked messages, no back and forth online, nothing. The diss track just dropped out of the blue and caught everybody slipping. Fans were sitting there like, wait, where did this even come from? That surprise hit made the moment feel even heavier. There was no warning, no slow build-up, just straight bold disrespect right from the jump. And Choppa didn't toss out weak insults or empty prets. He went deep, talking about YoungBoy's career, his image, and even the influence he has on the younger audience that follows him. Instead of just clowning him, Choppa tried to expose him, painting YoungBoy like he was pushing the wrong kind of message. This wasn't just a regular diss. This was personal and calculated. Choppa aimed at YoungBoy's reputation, his music, and the whole message he's been putting into the world. And that's exactly why this round of their rivalry hit so much harder than their earlier moments. It wasn't about ego this time. It was about what they both leave behind, a legacy. With this track, Choppa wasn't just running his mouth. He was trying to prove something.
He went straight for NBA YoungBoy's overall message, calling him out for what he claimed was negative influence. Choppa basically said YoungBoy's been spreading chaos through his music instead of pushing any kind of growth or positive change, especially to the young crowd that pays attention to him. Instead of actually listening to what Choppa was trying to say, YoungBoy's fans flooded the internet instantly, defending him like it was their full-time job. They weren't trying to admit Choppa might have had a point, they just wanted to swing back at anything that sounded like criticism. And the wild part, Choppa's message wasn't even far-fetched. He was speaking on something that's been a real discussion in hip-hop for a long time now. When the track dropped, even people who don't usually rock with Choppa had to show him some respect. The creative direction behind that music video was on a whole different level. This wasn't your average rap visual thrown together last minute. This was a full production. The choreography, the camera movement, the symbolism, everything lined up perfectly with the message he was trying to deliver. You could tell Choppa put real effort into it, and the way he crafted the whole theme was straight genius. He sampled Hit 'Em Up by Tupac, a track known as one of the most disrespectful diss songs in rap history. Now, Choppa didn't take it to the same extreme Pac did, but he definitely stepped close to that line. The energy, the tone, the confidence, all of it had that same type of feel as vibe. You could feel him putting intention behind every single line. The song opened with Choppa talking about how he's been off the scene for a minute, taking time away from the spotlight, but now he's back and moving with focus. He even mentioned surviving the shooting and how that experience shifted his perspective, giving him a new sense of purpose. The whole track kicked off by aiming straight at YoungBoy, no question needed there. Choppa's message was loud and clear. He said YoungBoy isn't helping the youth, he's hurting them. He called them out directly, rapping, "You poison the youth, nothing positive you do." Then he added the line about people acting aggressive in relationships because they think it's cute. And that bar hit heavy because he was pointing at real world issues, not glorifying them. He wasn't sugarcoating anything. He laid it all out for everybody to see. This wasn't just another diss track, this was Choppa taking a stand, saying he's tired of seeing negative behavior getting praised like it's something to copy. And no matter which side you ride with, you can't deny this track shook the whole scene in a major way. Choppa didn't pull back on any of the lyrics either. He aimed straight at YoungBoy's character, his public image, and the whole message he pushes. He spit lines like, "You send dudes to do what you wouldn't do," and "Role model, you can never fit the shoe." Then came the harshest part, calling him just a dude with emotion, a breastfed punk, and "Your argument weak, dudes like you make me sick." That was bold talk. Choppa wasn't playing at all. He was basically saying YoungBoy acts tough while spreading negativity to the young audience watching him. Now, yeah, this song was clearly aimed at YoungBoy, no question about that. But when you really listen, Choppa's words go way beyond just one artist. It's 2025, and honestly, that message hits the entire rap industry. Too many artists out here pushing drama, problems, and destruction instead of growth or unity. And Choppa pressed that issue loud. They hype up violence, disrespect, and toxic behavior so much that it turns into entertainment. And then the youth go out and copy everything they see. Choppa was speaking on something real, even if a lot of people don't want to admit it. And honestly, he's not wrong. You can literally see the impact of that kind of energy out in the real world. A perfect example happened just a few weeks ago at one of YoungBoy's own shows. There was a wild incident that shocked people, but at the same time, nobody was really surprised. A 66-year-old man working at the concert, just doing his job, staying out the way, ended up getting attacked by a small group of teenage fans.
These kids started clowning him for no reason, turning him into some kind of joke, and then one of them actually put hands on him. Like seriously, who is out here fighting somebody's granddad at a concert? It was hard to watch, and once the video hit social media, people were calling it messed up instantly. But deep down, a lot of folks weren't shocked it happened at a YoungBoy show. Because let's be honest, YoungBoy concerts already got that intense reputation. The energy is tense, unpredictable, and wild. Everyone knows if you pull up to one, you better be ready for whatever comes your way. And that right there is exactly what Choppa was trying to highlight. He wasn't just calling out YoungBoy for the sake of drama, he was pointing at how influence works. He's saying YoungBoy's impact isn't just in the music anymore, it's in the behavior of the crowd too. When your fan base starts acting reckless at you events, that's a reflection of the message being pushed. Whether people love him or can't stand him, Choppa's making everybody pause and really think, What kind of message are these rappers sending to the next generation? Because when it comes to YoungBoy concerts, everyone already know how wild those events can get. The energy is intense, the crowd gets rowdy fast, and sometimes things flip left without warning. People literally warn their friends and family before going to one of his shows. And to keep it fair, not every YoungBoy concert turns into a chaotic moment, but way too many have. There have been multiple situations where shows had to be shut down or thrown into lockdown because something serious happened. The tension at those venues is real, like everyone's just waiting for something to jump off. And remember his Chicago show? The whole city was so worried about potential violence that they canceled it entirely before it even happened. That speaks loud all by itself. So when Choppa called YoungBoy out for the type of energy he attracts, it wasn't random. It came from patterns people had been noticing for years. But then Chop went even deeper with it. He didn't just talk about concerts or fan behavior. He brought up YoungBoy's past actions, stuff that's been documented publicly. And this wasn't some rumor Choppa made up out of nowhere. This was information that had already been reported. Back in 2019, Pitchfork released details saying YoungBoy took a plea deal in a serious case involving his ex-girlfriend. It was a situation that had already been discussed in the media, so when Choppa referenced it, he wasn't pulling from thin air. He was pointing at things that were already on public record. The accusations YoungBoy faced back then were serious. Reports said he was accused of pushing his ex to the ground at a hotel and dragging her into a room. In the end, YoungBoy pled guilty to simple battery for family violence after the more serious charges, kidnapping and aggravated assault, were dropped. He got 12 months of probation, a $1,500 fine, anger management classes, and orders to stay away from any violent contact with the woman involved. Those are facts that were publicly reported, not rumors, not gossip. So when Choppa mentioned that situation in his verse, he wasn't creating anything or reaching for shock value. He was bringing up a part of YoungBoy's past that a lot of fans avoid talking about. Chop wasn't just calling him out for pushing wild energy in his music. He was pointing to real-life behavior that had followed him outside the studio. And on top of that, Chop didn't forget about their personal history either. In that same verse, he circled right back to their old tension, mixing documented events with sharp lyrical jabs that made the diss impossible to brush off. Choppa wasn't softening anything this time. He came for everything from YoungBoy's influence to his past actions, turning this into one of the boldest diss tracks of the entire year. At one point in the song, Choppa even talked about how he tried to squash things, how he tried to let the beef fade and move forward with no drama. He explained that he attempted to leave the past behind, take the peaceful route, and avoid pushing things any further. But according to Chop, YoungBoy wasn't trying to hear any of that. Instead of keeping the situation calm or private, YoungBoy turned it into an online show, throwing subliminals, dropping comments, and adding more fuel to the fire for the internet to run with. And honestly, it's tough to feel bad for him in that moment, because what did he really expect to happen? This wasn't some light joke or friendly jab. He made a whole track with Fredo Bang, a man who's been in one of the most serious long-running feuds with YoungBoy. That situation isn't some rap marketing plan. People have actually lost their lives behind it. That's real history with real consequences. Then Choppa doubled down and dissed YoungBoy on that same track. So later on, when he tried to talk about wanting peace, a lot of people didn't buy it. They were like, come on now, how you expect YoungBoy to just ignore all that? You can't jump into one of the most dangerous beefs in rap, drop bars aimed straight at the dude, and then expect him to shake your hand afterwards. It don't work like that, especially not in this industry. But even with all that, Chop still has something real tucked inside this new song. He went deeper than petty shots. He started calling out what he felt was fake energy from YoungBoy, saying the image he pushes in his music isn't who he really is anymore. Choppa basically accused him of selling a lifestyle he don't live, one filled with violence, negativity, and pain, all just to keep his fan base hyped. Chop laid it out heavy on one of his coldest lines. Judgment Day around the corner, the creator watching. You living purposely making decisions to promote more violence. That line hit strong. Choppa wasn't just clowning YoungBoy. He was questioning the whole persona, the message, and the impact behind it. He was pushing the idea that YoungBoy keeps feeding the world an image that brings nothing but destruction
even when he don't move like that in real life anymore. That line about bringing more death into his innocent children, when I do it is different, when he do it is ignorant, I'm in love with the art, he's in love with tearing people apart. Choppa wasn't just throwing shade. He was speaking on something bigger, calling out how the culture glorifies destruction while pretending it's all just entertainment. He was basically saying that when he talks about his past, it's reflection and growth. But when YoungBoy does it, it feels like a push towards negativity. And truth be told, Choppa wasn't lying in those bars. Whether people like him or not, he made some real points. You can't deny the message carried weight. Instead of chasing attention, Choppa was challenging how fame, music, and influence shape the people who listen. But of course, instead of hearing the message, most of the internet brushed it off and jumped straight back into hating, which literally proved the exact point he was making. Folks got caught up in the drama and ignored the meaning behind the words. Now the music video, that's where things crossed into a whole different level. The diss track alone was bold, but the visuals, Choppa took it way further than anyone expected. Yeah, he earned credit for the creativity, because you could tell he put real thought into the symbolism, but he definitely pushed the menace big time. In the video, he had a YoungBoy look-alike chained up and getting humiliated, which instantly had the internet buzzing. Then it cuts to a scene of them squaring up in a boxing ring, and Choppa lands the knockout in the visual, sending a loud message about who he thinks is coming out on top in this whole situation. The video was cinematic, symbolic, and definitely controversial, but the part that had everybody's jaws on the floor was the ending. Choppa came running down the street holding what looked like YoungBoy's fake head like it was some kind of trophy. No blood, nothing graphic, but the symbolism alone was wild enough to shock the whole internet. That moment spread everywhere instantly. You could almost feel the tension through the screen because it wasn't just disrespect, it was domination imagery, like he was saying, I took the crown. And that was the point where most fans agreed Choppa had crossed a serious line. Dissing someone with lyrics is one thing, but showing yourself holding your rival's fake severed head in a music video, that's a completely different level of bold. So of course, people started saying, yeah, YoungBoy is definitely responding after this. Because if there's one thing everyone knows, YoungBoy does not let anyone play with his name like that. The internet burst instantly. Half the people were hyping Choppa up, calling it art, saying it was a bold creative move for the culture. But the other half, especially YoungBoy's diehard fans, were furious. And you already know how loyal his fan base is. They ride for him with intensity. His supporters started flooding Choppa's comments, clowning him, dragging him, and demanding that YoungBoy drop a response immediately. He wasn't shocked by the backlash, not even a little. He expected all of it because he went after one of the most feared and respected names in hip-hop, someone with one of the strongest and most loyal fan bases in the entire game. And Choppa didn't stop there. He kept pouring fuel on the situation on purpose. He even put up billboards in YoungBoy's own hometown promoting the same diss track. Imagine that, posting giant signs trolling your rival right in his own city. That's not simple competition, that's straight up warfare. It was clear Choppa wanted this moment to be loud, dramatic, and impossible for anyone to ignore. While all this chaos was unfolding, YoungBoy's fans started pushing a new angle, accusing Choppa of faking his success and claiming he was using bots to boost his streams and inflate the hype around the diss track. But honestly, that theory didn't add up at all. This track didn't just pop off on one app, it went viral everywhere. You couldn't escape it even if you tried. Go on YouTube, it's there. Hop on TikTok, everywhere. Check Instagram, Facebook, or anywhere else, boom, another clip, another reaction, another meme about the NLE Choppa versus NBA YoungBoy beef. No matter where you scrolled, something from the situation was hitting your screen. Clips, edits, reactions, remixes, it was flooding every platform at the same time. And when something dominates that many spaces at once, that's not bots, that's real viral momentum. People were drawn in because the visuals were outrageous. Chop holding a fake YoungBoy head like a trophy, the intense symbolism, the bold imagery, all of it had the internet spinning. Folks couldn't look away even if they wanted to. Whether they loved it or hated it, they had to click it. The shock factor alone pulled everybody in, and that's exactly why the whole thing blew up so fast. It wasn't fake hype, it was pure, unfiltered internet reaction. After the song dropped, the entire culture started talking. Fans, rappers, influencers, everybody has something to say. Even Charleston White jumped in, and you already know when he steps into a situation, it gets messy real quick. He instantly sided with YoungBoy, throwing shade at Choppa and calling him out the way he always does. Charleston couldn't resist diving straight into the drama, and it didn't stop there. Even YoungBoy's mom joined the conversation. That's when things shifted from online beef to full-on family involvement.
she hopped online defending her son and took a few jabs at Choppa, talking loud and making sure everybody heard her. Before we even get to the clip, let's make one thing clear. She wasn't holding back at all. She started accusing Choppa of having a crack pipe in his video, trying to clown him and make him look wild. But here's the real truth. That wasn't any kind of pipe like she claimed. It was clearly just a cigarette. And the reason Choppa included that moment in the video was to mock YoungBoy's well-known habit, because everybody already knows YoungBoy's often seen with a cigarette in his hand.
He wasn't clowning himself at all. He was clearly mocking his son's signature habit. And it's wild how deep this whole situation has gotten. It's no longer just rapper versus rapper. Now it's family versus family, fan base versus fan base, and the internet is enjoying every second of the chaos. And look, nobody's here to disrespect anybody's mom, but let's be real for a second. YoungBoy's mom didn't make things any better when she jumped online. Her posting that video only poured more fire on an already blazing situation. Honestly, it would have made YoungBoy look way stronger if she had stayed quiet and let the music speak for him instead. The moment she stepped in, the whole conversation shifted away from the art and straight into family drama. And you know the internet eats that up fast. Now everybody's locked in on the big question: will YoungBoy respond? That's what the entire rap world is waiting for, because this beef is already viral everywhere you look, and Choppa isn't backing down anytime soon. He's been pushing this angle heavy, calling YoungBoy out on every level he can. So now all eyes are on YoungBoy to see what his next move is going to be. And if we're being honest, Choppa is playing a risky game here. He's pushing hard, and knowing YoungBoy's history, there's only so much he's gonna let slide before things take a serious turn. Chop might just push him right up to that breaking point, and that's where everything gets unpredictable. Now the big question everybody's watching for is, how is YoungBoy gonna respond? Is he about to match Choppa's energy and drop a deep lyrical breakdown, bar for bar, exposing him with smart shots and sharp storytelling? Or is he gonna go full savage mode and turn it into another intense diss filled with raw threats and chaos? Because if he chooses that second route, it'll only end up proving Choppa's point even more, that YoungBoy's music keeps pushing the kind of negativity Choppa's been calling out. But at the same time, let's keep it balanced. Choppa isn't flawless either. He's got his own contradictions, and YoungBoy could easily flip those right back on him if he decides to step inside the booth. If YoungBoy really wants to answer, he could twist this whole situation upside down and shift the entire narrative in seconds. Will he do it? Maybe, maybe not. Right now, the whole rap world got their eyes locked on him, waiting to see his next move. Only time's gonna reveal how this story unfolds. So now I gotta ask you, what do you think? Do you believe Chop is speaking real truth and calling out actual problems in the industry? Or is he just trying to stir the pot and grab some spotlight with this whole situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear how the streets feel about this one. And before you slide out, make sure you join the family. Turn on those notifications and hit that subscribe button so you never miss the heat dropping here daily. The streets never sleep, and neither do we. We're just getting started, and there are way more stories to expose, way more truths to uncover, and way more drama to break down. We drop fire every single day, and tomorrow's upload is going to be even crazier, even deeper, and absolutely unmissable. So smash that like button, share the video with your people, and let us know what you think below. We'll catch you in the next one right here on Scandal Scope, where the truth of the streets lives.